Teardrop Cam. T-A-R-D-R-O-P, Teardrop Cam. So we're going to start off, and if we take a look at it, you'll notice it's basically two circles that are connected together. We're going to start on our front view, and I'm going to start with the big circle right here in the center. It's going to be 1.5. I'm going to line up the second one right here, and its diameter is going to be 0.5. The distance between these two is going to be 1 inch. So they're touching each other, turns out. And now I need to make some tangent lines. So I'm going to touch this line to here, and I know that they're messed up. I know it's not tangent. I'm not going to try to do that with this first one. Click, so I can turn off my line. And then I want to make sure that they're not lined up with each other. And I'm just going to make two random lines touching, two random lines. Click a second time, turns it off. And now I'm going to come up here and choose the tangent tool. So here's my tangent tool. Oh, and it didn't touch, but that's okay. I want this being tangent here. And since I didn't touch it, I need to make a coincidence and have it touching there. Now it's tangent. And tangent is where the circle would touch a straight line if they were just bumping up against each other. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to choose this one, this line being tangent with this circle. Hey, that's starting to look pretty good. Let's do the same thing here. This line tangent with this circle. And it looks like this one is already tangent, but we'll go ahead and do it anyway. All right, now we need our center. We're going to use the center point rectangle, and this is going to be where our axis goes. We're going to go right in here to the apex and draw our rectangle 0.25 by 0.25. And so it's already locked into the center. And I believe that's all our dimensions for this. Green check mark. I'm going to extrude it. And I could come in here and click, 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 click. Instead, I'm just going to hit sketch, and it chooses everything except for the circle and the apex, which is kind of nice. If it had accidentally chosen that piece, I could have backed out of that by coming over here and clicking the little X's. So let's change it to isometric so I can see what I'm doing, and let's not make this mistake a second time. 0.25 is our diameter. Green check mark. Make sure you change your color, making the edit appearance. And I think this one I'm going to make it blue. Green check mark. Zoom in on it. Remember, when you're going to take a picture of it, I need you to open up the sketch so that I can see the dimensions. Don't have it so far away that I can't see what's going on. Zoom in on it so I can see. That's going to be one picture that you turn in, green check mark. And this is going to be the second picture that you turn in. So you need two pictures, and that will be worth a C. Okay, so if you want something better than a C, you're going to have to create some kind of design on the front of this teardrop. I think I'm going to start with, again, a circle in the center here to give it an outline called 0.5. I'm going to come over here and do an offset of the shape here. I don't like that it's not letting me, if I choose it, it's going to make it into a point here. I don't like that very much. Let me go ahead and turn this off. I'm going to change this to half of 0.25, which is going to be 0.125. And I believe I'm going to come over here and make a circle. I'll line it up here. I'm going to say 0.25, and I'm going to use the tangent tool and make those two tangent and those two tangent, and come back in and trim this piece and this piece. I kind of like that. All right, now I need my pattern that I'm going to put inside the middle here. I'm going to be boring and do what I did last time. Draw me a couple lines. One line here. Turn the line tool off. One line here. Turn the line tool off by clicking a second time. Let's dimension them. Same as last time, 0.2. And the distance from here to the center is going to be 0.1. And are those touching? I don't believe they are. So I'm going to make them touch. Oh, it didn't like that at all because I lined them up together. Let me turn on my constraints. And I know y'all have dealt with this problem before in the past. We just need to turn off, delete, backspace, and therefore everything lines up where it's supposed to be. Turn my constraints back off. And again, this is why it's worth more points than just doing the standard shape, because you're having to create and be creative. Okay, I'm going to use my circular pattern again. I want to pattern this guy, and you'll notice they're starting to float out here. I'm okay with that for right now. I want to be more than 3 pieces. Let's try tap tap 5 pieces. Nah, not really happy with that. How about 7 pieces? No, I think 7 is too many. Let's try 6. See what. Ah, yeah, there we go. Now I have a nice, looks like it might make something looking close to a diamond in the center here. I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm going to come over here and green check mark, single click, and once again, if I try to move these guys any at all, that center starts moving away, and so does everything else. So let's go ahead and constrain that center to our center point. And we've got a disconnect somewhere. Let's see where our disconnect is. Turn on all our constraints. Doesn't like that one. If I come over here and take this and hit delete, everything lines up. This was the only one that got moved out of the way. I can come back in and dimension it. Turn to blue, dimension between those two. It's going to be 0.125, and we're good to go. Now it's black. We're all good. Okay. Turn my constraints back off. And now I want to make sure that these guys come out and touch over here. The coincidence tool is not going to work. I cannot coincidence this to this because it's a copy of these other pieces and they're all equal to and can't change. So that's not going to work. Let me hit undo. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to draw lines to make this distance work out. Now, don't try to make them perfectly straight because things get all wonky and weird. So I'm going to make them, turn that off. I'm going to make them weird, directional, not, see how it wants to line things up? That's not good. We don't want to do that. We want to be someplace where it's not forced into place. Come over here, I'm going to do the same thing, point and click a second time, take this one, point, and trying to find something that is not, wow, there's a bunch of places that are lined up here. There we go. Click, and now they're not. Let me go ahead and turn this tool off. Now, that looks weird. What we're going to do is we're going to make parallel. So I want this one to be parallel with this one. I want this one to be parallel with this one. I'm going to do the same thing down here. Parallel. And this one is parallel. And there they lock into place. And that's how you fix that longer lines on here. Now, again, I'm pretty pleased with this. Remember, you're going to take a screenshot of this so it shows all the dimensions. Green check mark. I'm going to come back through and I'm going to extrude 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and I think I'm going to change these to remove. See how that looks isometrically. And I think I am. I think I'm going to take this piece out too. Green check mark. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. So, take a screenshot of that also. And so you'll have 4 screenshots you need to turn in. The original 2 and these additional 2 for your better grade. Good luck.